Hey everybody, it's Eric from EPAutos.com, your libertarian car guy, and it's time for another rant. And this rant was inspired by something that just occurred to me this morning as I'm out for a drive in the 2019 Volkswagen GTI Rabbit Edition. And here it is. First, I'm going to pan the camera down to show you the 6-speed manual transmission, and also let you have a look at the console surrounding the manual transmission. You may have noticed that something is missing. What is it? What could it be? It's ASS, automated stop-start. I figured out, or stumbled upon the fact that you can avoid ASS if you get a manual transmission. Almost every new car, including most new Volkswagens, with an automatic transmission has ASS, automated stop-start. Car companies are doing it, are resorting to it, I should say, as another desperation tactic to try to eke out fractional gains in gas mileage in order to appease the dark god in Washington, which decrees ever-escalating mandatory MPG minimums. Individually, it's of almost no benefit to you as a car buyer to have ASS as far as saving gas. Shutting off the engine at every traffic light or when you come to a stop might save you a mile per gallon versus a car without ASS. But that comes at the cost of the ASS system itself, obviously. Nothing's for free in this life. And almost certainly it will come at the cost down the road of more frequent battery replacement, because after all, your 12-volt starter battery has to constantly restart that engine if you have ASS. Whereas if you don't have ASS, you start the engine when you first get in the car to go for a drive, and then you just drive. You get to where you're going and you stop, do what you got to do, get out, and start the engine again. So generally speaking, if you don't have ASS, you might have to start your engine, I don't know, 2-3 times a day, let's say, maybe 4 or 5. But if you have ASS, that is going to triple, quadruple, however many times you come to a traffic light like this red light up ahead, the engine will shut off. And those repetitive start-stop cycles do create hardship on the battery, and the battery will not last as long. Figure if you had to replace your battery, let's say every 4 years, with ASS, you're probably going to have to replace it every 3. In fact, the problem is kind of being tacitly acknowledged by the car companies. Some new cars that have ASS actually have 2 batteries now because of the strain on the 12-volt starter battery, which was never designed to deal with constantly restarting engines. So they're resorting to that. So now you got 2 batteries, or you have to replace the battery more often. And of course, the other thing is that down the road, eventually things do wear out. So you got this whole automated stop-start system. You got a very, very high torque, super fast starter motor, for example. Eventually it or the solenoid is going to wear out, and it's going to cost you money to replace. It will probably happen after the car's out of warranty too. All for this fractional, incremental, and largely meaningless difference in MPGs, particularly now when gas is about $2 a gallon. It's preposterous and crazy. But anyway, back to the subject of today's rant. You can still avoid ASS by sticking with a manual transmission. They have not yet figured out a way to deal with the clutch. Therein lies the rub with ASS, to integrate the ASS system with the clutch. So, if you don't want ASS, but you're in the market for a new car, the thing to do is to find one like this Rabbit GTI that has a manual transmission. It's also a lot more fun, in my opinion, to drive a car with a manual transmission, and skip the ASS. So that's the rant for this morning. Thought you might find that of interest. I just put up a new piece too on EPAutos.com about the impending arrival of automated revenue collection, i.e. speed cameras, in my home state of Virginia. It's been quietly shepherded through the General Assembly, and if Governor Coon Man signs the law, you're going to be subject to automated revenue collection on Virginia's highways. Hopefully we'll be able to put the kibosh on that It's a really, really alarming thing because it's being done by a private company and for profit. So the state will split the revenue collected with a private company, thus incentivizing the enforcement of traffic laws. If they get away with the speed cameras, you know the next thing they're going to do is put them up at red lights and stop signs, jaywalking, everywhere else they can think of that is a potential revenue collection opportunity. So it's a really bad idea. Even if you're somebody who thinks that speed limits are reasonable, you probably, if you stop to think about it, will agree with me that making it a for-profit enterprise is probably a bad idea, because it's not about solving the problem if you're trying to make money off the thing. You're just trying to increase your revenue stream. In fact, arguably, you want speeding to continue. You want it to get worse because that means more money for you, right? Just trying to be logical about it. Anyway, look forward to your comments about that, as well as the other stuff that's up on site. I should have a review of this VW shortly. There's also an article up about the new Lincoln Nautilus, which is actually a pretty neat luxury crossover SUV, in that it is a luxury crossover SUV and not a luxury sport crossover SUV. So, thanks for viewing. We'll catch up with you again soon.